Hello, this is Made for Glory. I'm Pablo.
I'm Father Oskari.
And today we have the reaction to Broken by Stratovarius, which is a very exciting link or video today because Father Oskari has not heard the song, but
That's
also
right.
because me personally, I used to listen to this band about nearly 30 years ago.
Wow.
So it's really interesting to see their latest stuff. Now, their latest stuff is also quite interesting, especially Father Oskari, you haven't seen their latest stuff. So the latest stuff is actually quite interesting because it's very much cutting edge metal. But also I think listening to this song with you, Father Oskari from Finland, is quite interesting because they are from Finland.
Absolutely.
So we're going to listen to Broken, which is from one of their latest albums, and we're going to be reacting. So without further ado,
Let's get into it.
Finland.
Whoa. Oh, that's such a... Wow, that is really amazing.
Feeling homesick?
Yes.
Deep stuff.
Wow.
The chosen ones.
Whoa. Wait. So what's going on here? So you have a forest.
Yes.
Finnish forest.
Finnish forest.
Beautiful choir, kind of a contemplative mood moment, and then
Bang. And the thing is, it's very kind of like, here we are. The production is brilliant. And also it's very much what we were saying, is very much kind of like the cutting edge type of metal, very compact, aggressive, and super precise.
Right, and then the symbols, so a very beautiful forest, then comes fire, comes signs of war, was that? Something like that?
That's right.
Shall we go back to the
let's
beginning?
do it again.
Okay. Promised land, religious symbolism. Chosen ones, again religious allusions. Brick ball. Whoa. And the melodic, whoa.
The keywords are always great in Stratovarius.
What's the symbolism here? Here's the sky. This drummer is amazing. Okay. The lovely Finnish accent.
Right.
Whoa, okay.
First reactions.
It's very impressive. The drummer is amazing. I mean, to viewers, I played heavy metal drums as a teenager. I still play my mind whenever I listen to music. And this guy is top notch, really solid, very precise, complex, but also he's not overdoing it, I think.
Yes, very subtle.
It's very musical. There's a clear sort of sense of purpose. Of the double drums and everything, the fills and everything. Beautiful, the guitar melody. In this song, you really get the sense of, like, in a lot of like power metal that both of us love, get that sense of, it's almost like classical music with electric instruments.
Yes.
So it's really wonderful.
They have evolved their sound, so it's kind of more progressive than they used to play in the past. But listening to this, my first question to you is, the title of the song, Broken, is really exploring the sort of the challenges of life.
Right.
Are we really broken?
Right, and I'm wondering about like what it is that they want to say with that, and I look forward to listening more to the lyrics. Now I actually, because it's not always easy to get what they're saying, so I looked up the lyrics. I didn't read them yet, so I'm gonna just check quickly. Is this the promised land, the one we were to rule? I see an empty hand, I see an empty fool. That's very poetic. That sounds really interesting, and it goes a bit deeper. empty hand, something you've lost, something you don't have that you should. An empty fool sounds more metaphorical, like we human beings can be fools, we're empty of something that we're yearning for. How wicked man can be, we never can be free. Our eternal wrath, destruction in our path. We pray for salvation, indeed, from a man-made machine, and that's the problem. Where do we look for salvation? There's no hope, there's no light, there's no love, just a silent scream lost in a dream.
So he's obviously
Wow, that's pretty
really
powerful.
wrestling.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, just listening, I don't know the background of these guys. Are they believers, Christians? There certainly are huge allusions to that sort of themes here.
So we have a few themes to explore: salvation, brokenness. Let's listen to the melody
Okay,
now, because
great.
it's very Stratovarius, super melodic and powerful. So grand.
Yeah. Really soaring sort of guitars.
What you tell the has a great
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, really cool.
Good, huh?
Yeah. Kind of a calm.
That feel with the drums, tremendous.
And the coordination between the fills and the guitar and everything is really professional. The child. Really interesting. Wow.
Any further reactions?
There's really interesting. The lyrics are really interesting, actually. So I just had to check again a little bit in detail. So where it continues, what we saw before, it says, "Neither beast nor divine, that's who we are, and that's why we're broken." It's really interesting, because that's a deeply Christian idea of man, that, and especially I think Catholic in particular, we are called to be divine, we're made in God's image and likeness, but at the same time, in a sense, we are capable of behaving like beasts, even worse, because we have such a powerful rationality that we can turn our gifts into something really bad. And I suppose that's the symbolism, that might be the symbolism behind the sort of, that the ruins of war and the sort of this sort of destruction that human beings are capable of making. So that's my impression. But then it continues that unguided, divided, waiting for the end, we're the last of our kind. That's who we are, that's why we're broken.
Obviously, there are many questions nowadays with AI, with the environment, all these things. Where are we going? Are we just kind of self-destroying ourselves? Like, are we pressing the button of self-destruction, which is actually quite topical in this song.
Absolutely, and I'm thinking of this also from a Christian point of view, kind of an explicitly theological point of view, which I always do when I listen to music. Unguided makes me think of, well, not just that there's a lack of good leaders, maybe there is, but that sense of we human beings need guidance from above, that when we're left on our own, so to speak, we can easily mess things up. And it's not a defect of our being, but it's a sign of how we were designed to be connected to something higher, something greater.
So we're craving for something higher.
Yeah, and we need that. If we don't have that, that's Christian theology would put it in terms of grace, that gift of God's help from above, which is both divine revelation in terms of clarification on man's origin and destiny, but also guidance from the inside, from our heart, that sort of voice of conscience, helping us to love, forgive, to do what is just, and so on. Ask for forgiveness. And so if that's lacking, then we're sort of just drifting.
Brilliant. Now we are approaching the grand moment in the song. So I'm very keen to see what you think now as it builds up.
Let's go for it. I love the visuals because you have the contrast between the beautiful forest and the sort of dark, brownish destruction.
This is classic Stratovarius.
So the boy is kind of rebuilding the keyboard from the ashes. It's kind of a sign of resurrection, of culture, or, well, maybe it doesn't work. No, he's destroying it. Wow.
Brilliant. The key.
Well, yeah. Wow.
Not too shabby.
Well, that is very powerful, and I think it's very, very thought-provoking because I'm coming back to the lyrics while I'm listening, and a big theme is that tension there, which I think is a very Christian way of thinking about it. But at the same time, it's not explicitly. It's that recognition of that yearning for greatness, but at the same time, brokenness. And it's interesting, the lyrics, they say, neither beast nor divine, that's who we are, and that's why we're broken. And I'm thinking, well, there's something missing there. It doesn't follow.
So that's my question, really. We mentioned before whether we were broken. So from a Catholic perspective, from a Christian perspective, how do we solve that potential brokenness, that potential inattention with it, which we all sometimes feel?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a really interesting expression of that without giving the answer. There may be hints, but I think that's the beginning. I mean, very often, from the viewpoint of like the faith, first you need some recognition that you need something more. I mean, that's something I think both of us will agree that in teenage years we listened to a lot of metal, and that resonated with the sort of experience of a lot of teenagers, especially teenage men. And it's almost like if you compare to quite a lot of pop music, there can be more that sort of just
superficiality.
Yeah, I mean, I love a lot of pop music as well. Same. So that's not the point. But there can be more the sort of, just looking for peace and sort of consolation. Well, there isn't much consolation here, actually. It's more like pushing you to that crisis point, in a sense. Okay, it's like rubbing that question in your face. Like,
I guess that reminds me of what St. Augustine wrote, that our hearts are restless until they rest in God, which is such an interesting kind of answer to this concept of tension, to this concept of searching.
Yeah, absolutely, well said. I'm a big fan of St. Augustine, and so it's a great line.
He's a great author.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Pablo. That was really exciting.
So I think we have started kind of getting into this idea of what does it mean to fix our brokenness. And we've seen that it's the first step. Love that. Thank you.
Thank you. And for viewers, if you like that, please subscribe, like the video, whatever, comment, suggest other things we could listen to. And hope to see you and connect with you in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.